This video is about using the English 214 term report template to write your English 214 term report. I'm going to demonstrate how to use the Styles menu to add and change sections of the essay, which will also allow you to very easily update the contents page using these different styles. I'm also going to show you how to format your references page using hanging indent and how to alphabetize your references very easily. Lastly, I'll show you a quick and useful trick for when you are copy and pasting text from one document into another and you want to keep the formatting of this text consistent with the document you are writing. You should find the English 214 term report template on Blackboard in the term report folder. And when you open this document, you'll see that it has all of the ingredients that you need in your term report. It has a cover page, a descriptive abstract, a contents page, a text that has been formatted according to English 214 guidelines with the various different levels of heading, level 1, level 2 and level 3, and it has a references page as well, although these references need some adjusting and we will look at how to do that a little bit later. Editing the cover page is very simple. All you need to do is replace different parts of the text with information that is true for you and your essay. So where it says your essay title, you type your essay title, which of course should be in title case. You add your name, your student number, your instructor's name. You need to add a date, which is the deadline date for your report. And lastly, you need to include a word count. And this word count is everything from the start of your introduction to the end of your conclusion. It does not include the cover page or the descriptive abstract or the references page or the contents, just the essay itself. So editing this page is very straightforward. Similarly, editing the descriptive abstract is very straightforward as well. You just delete this text and you type your own descriptive abstract. The contents page, however, is a little bit different. I'm going to come back to the contents page after we have edited some sections of the main text and show you how you can update this contents page to reflect what is in the main text of the essay. But for now, I'll just tell you that you should not try to change or delete text on this contents page. If you do that, it will cause problems. But we'll come back to this soon. So here is the main text of the essay. For the main text of the essay, you should edit the header at the top so that it includes your essay title written in capital letters. And you'll see that the page numbers are already provided here. But edit that and it will adjust it for every page in your essay. And then you will begin work on removing and adding and editing text for your essay. So for the introduction, the heading is already provided for you. You just need to delete this text and write your own introduction. The same for the conclusion. You can keep the heading, delete the text and write your conclusion. Now for the main body of the essay, so if that's your problems and solutions and recommendations section, if that's the things that you are comparing, if that's the arguments, counter-arguments and reconciliation portions of the essay, you will need to make significant changes to the sections and the section numbering. You'll have to add sections, remove some, and you'll be writing your essay there. And for this, it's not enough to simply delete pieces of text and replace them, because the structure of this document will not be the same as yours. So let's look at how we do that. To do that, you need to use the Styles menu, which is at the top of the Microsoft Word window here. And you'll see that there are 4 options provided, but there are many more if you click on this down arrow. There are lots of these different styles. Now you don't need to use most of these. There are only a few that will be relevant for you. There is a style called normal, which is for the normal text of the essay, that's formatted in 2.0 line spacing, size 12 font. It has an indent at the start of paragraphs. There is one called heading 1, which is for your level 1 headings, heading 2 for your level 2 headings, heading 3 for your level 3 headings, and there's one called references, which you can use for your references. And these are the only ones you need to use: normal, heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, and references. So if I want to add an additional section to my essay, maybe I would like to add an additional level 2 heading here before this section A. What do I do? Well, I find the place that I want to put it. I would like to put it here, and because it's a level 2 heading, I choose from the Styles menu heading 2. If it's not in the main 4 here, you can find it in the menu, heading 2. And I do that, and you'll see that it automatically organizes it correctly. It's now letter A, and it's pushed what was letter A to be letter B. And what I do now is I type my heading. And remember, it's a level 2 heading, so it should be in title case, but you have to remember that. And then if I press the Enter key and I start typing, you'll see that it's automatically formatted to the normal text. If for some reason it doesn't look correct, the text is wrong somehow, the wrong font, the wrong size, if it's numbered or something like that, then that's easy to fix if you just highlight the text and then choose normal from the Styles menu. That should fix that problem. Okay, so we've added this extra section here, and it's changed all of the numbering and lettering automatically for us. Now let's say that I would like to add another section. I'd like to add an additional level 3 heading to this section. Again, I find where I would like to put it. I'd like to put it here. And I go to the Styles menu and I choose heading 3 because it's a level 3 heading. Again, it's put the correct number or letter format for us, and it's changed the surrounding numbers and letters so that they all make sense. And I type my heading. Okay, now I made a mistake here. This should be in sentence case, right? Because it's level 3. So we don't need those capitalizations. Your text here, and I hit enter, and again, it's automatically formatted to normal text for us. If it's not, we can change that easily. So this is how you use the styles menu. And the reason you should use it is because, one, it will help you with the numbering system. It should automatically change the numbers so they are consistent, or the letters so they are consistent. And it also makes life a lot easier when you are producing a contents page. So generating your own contents page in Microsoft Word can be a little bit fiddly. And I've provided one here as an example. Now you'll see that even though we added some additional sections to section 2, they're not here. What you don't want to do is start clicking on the text and trying to delete and add things. This will not work. There is a much simpler thing you can do, if you're using the style system at least, that will, within 3 or 4 clicks, change this contents page so that it reflects your essay. So if I right-click anywhere on the contents page, a menu comes up and it gives me the option to update field. So I choose that update field, and it might automatically do it then. It might not ask me anything else, it might just change the contents, or it will give you a window like this where it asks you to select one of the following options: update page numbers only or update entire table. You want to choose update entire table, and if you select that, then you see that the text has been added to this contents page. There is an additional level 3 heading here, and there is an additional level 2 heading here, and the page numbers are all updated, and the numbers around these sections have updated as well. It's nice and easy. Now, if you edit the essay again, if you add more text which changes the page numbers, or if you add or remove sections, this contents page will not update. You have to, again, go to the contents page, right-click, choose Update Field, and then Update Entire Table, okay, and then it will fix it. So you have to do this yourself every now and again, but it's much simpler than having to type out your contents page yourself, check the page numbers yourself, and write these things. I'll remind you again that this will only work if you are using the style system. If you are just typing the text yourself, right, you might be numbering it yourself and making the text bold and capitalized appropriately. If you do that, it will not work for your contents page. It will only work if you are choosing these styles. So next, I will show you about how to format the references page. You will see that there are 2 main problems with this references page. The first is that these references are not formatted using hanging indent, and the second is that they are not listed alphabetically. Let's start with hanging indent. This is a very easy thing to do on Microsoft Word. You just highlight the references, right-click, and from the menu, you select paragraph. it will show you this window, and we want to look at the middle part of this window, which says indentation. And if you look here where it says special, at present none is selected. And what you do is you select from this menu hanging, and that's it. So from the indentation section, special, hanging, and then select OK. And now these references are presented using hanging indent. So nice and easy. Again, one more time, that's highlight the references, right click, paragraph, indentation, special, hanging, OK. Done. And also, there is an easy way to alphabetize them. A quicker and more efficient way, at least, than highlighting a reference, copying it, deleting it, putting it somewhere else. That takes time. A much simpler way is to, again, highlight your references and then look at the top of the Microsoft Word window. So in the ribbon here, in the middle section, you will see a small button with an A above a letter Z and a down arrow. This is the sort menu. So if I hit this, sort, it will present me with another window. And it doesn't make it clear, but this is this default setting of sort by paragraphs, type text ascending. That means it will sort this list alphabetically. So you shouldn't need to change this. But if there are any problems, just check that these settings are like this. Sort by paragraphs, text ascending, OK. And voila, our list is now alphabetized. If you add other references to this list, then they will not automatically be placed alphabetically. You'll have to highlight them all again, select on the sort button and hit OK, and it will fix it for you. Now this will only work if you are using the hanging indent setting from the paragraphs menu. What will not work is if I have my references like this and I decide that instead of using hanging indent, I will make my own kind of custom hanging indent where I press enter and then I hit tab and I manually do it like this. The problem with this is that if I try to alphabetize this list quickly, it won't work because it thinks this volume here is a new entry. So that's why you should not use this method. Okay, it's much better to use the inbuilt hanging indent option and the alphabetized list because it saves a lot of time. Last thing that I will show you is a little trick that you can use if you are copying and pasting text from one document into another and you want to keep the text type, so the color, font style, size, etc. You want to keep it consistent in the document you are writing. Now this is a quite common presentational error that I see when I am grading papers, is I'll be reading a paragraph and all of a sudden in the middle of the paragraph the text color or the font type or the size will change. And when I see this, I know it's because a student has copied something from one document and pasted it into another and hasn't changed the font so that it's consistent. So let's imagine that you have a document of notes that you're making. Maybe you're reading a text and you're making notes, or it's from a draft or something, and you have a paragraph or a sentence that you would like to copy and paste into this document. So I've found one here that I like and I want to put it in my text. So I highlight it and I copy it, and I decide that it will go in the middle of this paragraph. It will go here. So I paste this, and you see that it's brought with it the formatting from the other documents, and it looks very messy. Now you could highlight all of this text, change the text type, change the color, and so on and so on. If you want, that's fine. But there is a quicker and easier way. So immediately after you paste something, and before you add any extra characters, you hit the space bar or you move to a different part of the text, you'll see that a little window, a little button has appeared. It's very small, but it appears at the bottom of what you have pasted, and it's called Paste Options. So if you click on this, it gives you different options. You can keep source formatting, match destination formatting, or keep text only. And what you want is match destination formatting, because what this does is it applies the formatting of the text around this in this document so that they are consistent. So if I click on that, you can see that it's now changed it so that it fits in with the rest of the text. So once again, if you paste the text, before you do anything else, click on this little button and choose Match Destination Formatting, and it's fine. However, if I were to paste this text and then I were to hit the space bar, this option disappears, so you have to then do it manually. So it's only available just after you paste something and before you do anything else. But it's useful. It's useful for writing documents of all kinds, and it's much quicker than manually changing the presentation settings yourself. So I hope this video has been useful in explaining how to use this template and the style system, and in how to format your references page and other little details. And I very much look forward to seeing a big batch of very beautifully and professionally formatted essays at the end of the semester. Good luck.